So this is a new one for me. I've only done a round robin once, and that means that you're given a block, you pass it off to somebody else, and then you add your bit on to another one, and etc. etc. Brenda from Congaree Mount Scrapmore with Brenda is hosting one where there's 4 different content creators who are each doing different blocks, and they're doing it electronically through their YouTube channels. I'll put all the details in the description for this video. I decided to join along just for something fun to do. I won't be keeping on schedule because I have other things I need to be doing as well. So this is a center block that is called the Birdhouse, and this is one that Brenda put out on her YouTube channel on July 9th. So what I decided to do is I'm going to jazz it up a little bit differently. I'm using fabric from my scrap, so this is basically what it's going to look like. I don't have a bird that I liked, so I thought, well, it doesn't really have to be a birdhouse. I'm just going to call it a doghouse. So let's see how this all unfolds over time. I will show you step by step as I put this together. So this is going to be a foundation paper piece pattern. And what you need to do if you haven't done one before is you do it you do the numbers first. So one will have this guy faced up on the back of the sheet here, and then I will be sewing in order the other pieces until it all comes together. Because I'm using fabric from my scrap, I'm being a little bit I have to be creative here, because for the roof I debated using a solid, and I decided I had this scrap material here, so I thought this would be kind of neat as a roof line, just the yellow, so that's what I'm going to do with that. And then the rest of this, because I have extra pieces, who knows what the other part of the round robin's going to look like, so they'll get used. I'm going to use the polka dot for up in the sky, and then down here I'm going to use kind of this leafy pattern. I know it has some stripes, so that's kind of scaring me a little bit because there is an angle there, so I'll figure that one out. So in the meantime, I'm going to get started, and I'll show you as I travel along. I hope you get to join in on this fun, because doing round robins is a lot of fun to do, and doing it this way, well, you don't have to travel anywhere. You can do it all from home. So follow along. I'll show you as I travel. Thank you. So the first part to get going on this is the center, which is going to be a dog. You probably can't see the outline here, but I can see it. And what is highly recommended to do if you haven't done foundation paper piecing before is to take all the rules, and this is a neat serrated tool. I used to use it for garment sewing a lot to mark different things on the fabric. So what we do is we just wheel it along, and that's going to help us determine placement for fabric. So I'm just going to show you on the first one here. These are fairly inexpensive to find. I think this one I actually got at a thrift store, because I used to have one and it went missing in a move. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the square here. Because this isn't a precise block, if I'm off a little bit, I don't really get too concerned about it, as long as it finishes off at the size it needs to. I'm only doing one. You can do 4 if you want, but I've decided just to keep it simple with 1. Okay, so there we go. There's the outside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this within where the perfs are, making sure there's some seam allowance. I know where the center of him is here. So I'm going to measure that and place it. And then what I like to do is I actually like to put a dab of glue. So again, this is my liquid Elmer's washable glue. You can either use this or you can use a glue stick. I can't seem to locate that right now, so I'm just going to use this. So I will center this, and then we're not going to sew him on or her. We're actually going to take the white, we'll overcut them here, and then these will go like this and then flipping over to the other side. So I'll do that in 4 corners and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just quickly showing you I have the second piece done, and I have used a 1/4 inch ruler to trim it back. One thing you need to be cautious of when you've got white over black is to under trim the black so that when it folds over you don't see the outline of the darker color. And I just wanted to show you I did find the glue. It's the Elmer's washable school glue. It's in the disappearing purple. That's the only one I could get my hands on at the time, but it works well and the purple does go away. So this is what I use for tacking my pieces in. So if you look at the back, we have 1 and 2 done. Next I'll do 3, 4, and 5, and then I'll see you right back here. So 1 through 5 are now done. So the corners now do 6, 7, 8, and 9. Because these are parallel lines, that's what I'll use as a reference when I'm lining up my stripes. If I don't get these matched on both sides, I'm not going to be overly concerned about it, but I think it's going to turn out really well. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and then I'll be right back. So I've got 6 and 7 done. So that's what they look like. So next will be 8, 9. I have a choice here. I could do it so it's running the other way, which would be kind of interesting to do, or I can try and match it so that's running the same way. Be interested to know how you would do it. I think I'm going to do it so it's all the same way, but it would look kind of cute going the other way as well. Oh well, I'm just going to do it all horizontally. So let me do these pieces 8, 9, and I'll be right back. I hope I can explain how I did this. I decided to run the vertical on the 8 and 9. What I did is I actually sewed 8 down, and then I brought the fabric, making sure I had plenty to cover down here, and then I attached 9 up here. I need to make sure that when I trim this I have enough up here as well to cover that off, which I do. So I need to cut this carefully. It'll make sense in a minute. So I'll just overcut it a little bit like this. So that now takes care of 8. And then this, when it flips up, takes care of 9. So that's what it's going to look like. So I will go back, I'll do the trimming here, and then I do press as I go. So I'd like to keep the seams as flat as possible. So I'll go take care of that, and then we get to do the next one. Okay, here I go making design changes. I originally was going to use this for the pieces that fill in here, but I decided it's just going to look too busy for my taste. So I decided that I was going to use the flower part from this border fabric that I have. And I think this will be giving a little bit of creative white space that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we get to do the roof and the sky, and then this block is done. So next up is 12 and 13. So I will overcut this in length here. I'll probably just cut this length in half because that'll be more than enough to do both. And then I'll have to make sure that I'm stitching on this black. I highly doubt I'll be able to keep that centered, but I'll do what I can. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. So I was able to get the roof to work out. When I go to join the next section, the sky, there may be a little bit of black here, and this may not make sense depending on how that works out, but I'm good with that. I'm really happy with how it's coming together. So next are the wild polka dots that'll go up here, and then I'll trim it up and show you what it looks like. Here we go, my take on block 1 of the community round robin. Please check out the description information and the content creators who are actually doing this round robin in my description. Remember to like, share, and leave a comment now and then because I love to hear from you. So here we go. This is what the final guy looks like. I really actually like how the siding turned out and the polka dot for the sky. I just think it's really a fun block. So watch out for more of these as I try to do my own version of the round robin. Take care, sew safely, and sew with Debbie.